This video is about famous Hollywood celebrities and people who passed away from 21st to 25th of January 2023 in the United States. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Cindy Williams. She was born in August 1947 and she died in January 2023. Her age was 75 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from a short illness. Cindy Williams was a beloved American actress who became a television icon for her role as the bubbly and optimistic Shirley Feeney on the classic sitcom Laverne and Shirley. The show was one of the most popular of its era, and her on-screen chemistry with co-star Penny Marshall was legendary. Before her television stardom, she had a notable role as Laurie Henderson in George Lucas's acclaimed 1973 film American Graffiti. Lance Kerwin. He was born in November 1960 and he died in January 2023. His age was 62 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart disease. Lance Kerwin was a former American actor who was a popular teen idol in the 1970s. He was best known for his starring role in the coming-of-age television series James at 15, later James at 16, which was praised for its realistic portrayal of adolescence. He also had a memorable role as the young vampire hunter Mark Pietri in the 1979 horror miniseries Salem's Lot. Everett Quinton. He was born in December 1951 and he died in January 2023. His age was 71 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Everett Quinton was a celebrated and influential figure in the American avant-garde and off-Broadway theater scene. He was a longtime partner and collaborator of Charles Ludlam and the artistic director of groundbreaking Ridiculous theatrical company after Ludlam's death. He was a gifted actor, director, and playwright, known for his masterful comedic performances and his dedication to the ridiculous style of theater. B.G., the Prince of Rap. He was born in September 1965 and he died in January 2023. His age was 57 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from a prostate cancer. Born Bernard Green, B.G., the Prince of Rap was an American-born musician who became a major star in the European dance and Eurodance scenes in the 1990s. An army veteran based in Germany, he was best known for his massive 1991 hit This Beat Is Hot, which topped dance charts across Europe. His music, featuring his distinctive rap verse over energetic beats, was a staple of the Eurodance era. Carol Sloane. She was born in March 1937 and she died in January 2023. Her age was 85 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from a stroke. Carol Sloane was a highly acclaimed American jazz singer, celebrated for her warm voice, impeccable phrasing, and swinging interpretations of the great American songbook. She rose to prominence after a triumphant performance at the 1961 Newport Jazz Festival and recorded numerous critically acclaimed albums. Throughout her long career, she was a revered singer's singer, known for her sophisticated musicality and storytelling ability. Easley Blackwood Jr. He was born in April 1933 and he died in January 2023. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Easley Blackwood Jr. was a distinguished American composer, concert pianist, and professor of music at the University of Chicago. He was known for his complex compositions in a traditional tonal style, as well as his groundbreaking explorations into microtonal music. His work, including his famous 12 microtonal etudes for electronic media, pushed the boundaries of musical tuning and theory. Lynn Bramer. He was born in August 1954 and he died in January 2023. His age was 68 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. Lynn Bramer was a beloved and iconic Chicago radio personality, famously known as the longtime morning host of the rock station WXRT. For over 30 years, his witty and deeply personal on-air style made him a cherished daily companion for countless listeners. Known as your best friend in the whole world, he was a revered and irreplaceable voice in Chicago media. Sal Piero, he was born in June 1950 and he died in January 2023. His age was 72 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from aneurysm. Sal Piero was an American actor and writer who was the undisputed leader of the cult following for the film The Rocky Horror Picture Show. As the longtime president of Film's International Fan Club, he was a key architect of the audience participation rituals, including callback lines and prop usage that have defined the film's screenings for decades. He was a central and beloved figure who turned a movie into a cultural phenomenon. Jack Syndrome, he was born in June 1971 and he died in January 2023. His age was 51 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Jack Syndrome was a talented American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. Known for his soulful brand of acoustic rock, he was a popular and hardworking independent musician, particularly in the San Francisco Bay Area. He was known for his engaging live performances. He released several albums and built a dedicated following through his relentless touring and heartfelt songwriting. Victor Novalsky, he was born in July 1932 and he died in January 2023. His age was 90 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pneumonia. Victor Novalsky was an influential and long-serving editor of the progressive magazine The Nation and a professor at Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism. He was a prominent voice on the American left, known for his sharp intellect and his commitment to civil liberties. His 1980 book, Naming Names, which explored the Hollywood blacklist, won the National Book Award. Sam Bass Warner Jr., he was born in April 1928 and he died in January 2023. His age was 94 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Sam Bass Warner Jr. was a distinguished American urban historian and professor who was a pioneer in his field. His influential books, such as Secret Car Suburbs, The Process of Growth in Boston, 1870 to 1900, revolutionized the study of cities by focusing on the everyday experiences and development patterns that shaped urban life. He taught at several prestigious universities, including MIT and Boston University. Jean Anderson, she was born in October 1929 and she died in January 2023. Her age was 93 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Jean Anderson was a prolific and highly respected American food writer and cookbook author. She authored more than 20 cookbooks, but was best known as the co-author of the encyclopedic and hugely popular The Doubleday Cookbook, a kitchen Bible for generations of American home cooks. Her work was celebrated for its meticulous research, reliability, and accessible style. Bernhard T. Mittmeyer, he was born in October 1930 and he died in January 2023. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Lieutenant General Bernhard T. Mittmeyer was a distinguished American physician who served as the 35th Surgeon General of the United States Army. A urologist by training, he rose through the ranks to lead the Army Medical Department, overseeing the health care of soldiers and their families worldwide. After his military career, he became an executive in the Texas Tech University system. Willie Richardson, she was born in December 1948 and she died in February 2023. Her age was 74 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Willie Richardson was an American civil rights activist and community advocate who was president of Oregon Black Pioneers. Richardson also served on the Selma Human Rights Commission and worked several jobs for the state between 1978 and 1991. She opened an independent retail store for women's fashion, but as of 2010, her focus was solely on community and non-profit works. Mira Lair, she was born in September 1934 and she died in January 2023. Her age was 88 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Mira Lair was a prominent American multimedia artist Known for her ecologically focused and abstract works, a pioneer of ecofeminism in art, her work often incorporated non-traditional materials like gunpowder, resin, and ignited fuses to create complex, nature-inspired imagery. She was a key figure in the South Florida art scene for over 6 decades, celebrated for her innovative and dynamic style. George Crabtree. He was born in November 1944 and he died in January 2023. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Dr. George W. Crabtree was a distinguished and world-renowned physicist at Argonne National Laboratory. He was a leading expert in the fields of superconductivity and materials science, and later became a major voice in sustainable energy research, directing the Joint Center for Energy Storage Research. He was a member of the National Academy of Sciences and a highly respected leader in the scientific community. William Lover. He was born in February 1937 and he died in January 2023. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Francis William Bill Lover was a highly influential American mathematician who was a foundational figure in the development of category theory. His work, including the introduction of the concept of an elementary topos, had a profound impact on logic, computer science, and the philosophical foundations of mathematics. He was a brilliant and iconoclastic thinker who reshaped modern abstract mathematics. Bill Shawnee. He was born in June 1929 and he died in February 2023. His age was 93 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Bill the Charles Shawnee was a legendary and beloved American sportscaster, famously known as the original radio and television voice of the Portland Trail Blazers. For nearly 3 decades, he was a soundtrack to Trail Blazers basketball, and he's credited with coining the team's iconic nickname, Rip City, during a 1971 game. His enthusiastic and memorable calls made him a revered icon in Oregon sports history. Matthew H. Clark. He was born in July 1937 and he died in January 2023. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from Alzheimer's disease. Matthew H. Clark was a prominent American prelate of the Roman Catholic Church. He served for over 30 years as a bishop of the Diocese of Rochester, New York, where he was known as a leading liberal voice within the American Catholic hierarchy. He was a dedicated and often controversial leader who was deeply involved in the pastoral and social issues of his time. Octaviano Juarez Coro. He was born in December 1973 and he died in January 2023. His age was 49 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was homicide by police. Octaviano Coro was a Mexican-American fugitive who was added to the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list. He was wanted in connection with a 2006 mass shooting at a park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where he allegedly killed 2 people and wounded 3 others. He was on the run for over 15 years before being apprehended in Mexico. Gary Pettigrew. He was born in October 1944 and he died in January 2023. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was myelodysplastic syndrome. Gary Pettigrew was a Canadian professional American football defensive lineman in the National Football League for Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants. He played college football at Stanford University and was selected in the 2nd round of the 1966 NFL Draft. Pettigrew was also selected in the 6th round of the 1966 AFL Draft by the San Diego Chargers. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.